Today I'm going to show you my live settings which I use on the Mooer GE300. The Mooer GE300 is the modeling unit which I am using when I'm playing live. And you can find a couple of videos on my channel where I'm using this unit playing directly to front of house. And recently I got asked why I use this unit, because I have all the units you may know. For example, the way more expensive units like Fractal audio products. I own these units, I play them at home. But I was very satisfied with the Mooer GE300 because it's a very small unit and it's very powerful. And today I would like to show you a couple of things which I'm doing with this thing, which makes this unit the unit of choice for me, at the moment at least. So I opened the editor for you here, hopefully you can see it. And this is the effects chain here. Currently I am in a preset which I use for the song Boys of Summer, where I'm playing a long solo, which you can also find on my channel. And the first thing I'd like to mention is the effects chain here. It's quite long compared to other units in the well, cheap or medium price range at least. So that is the reason basically why I choose this unit and not, for example, the Valeton GP200 when playing live. Because here you have the FxA and the FxB slot, and in all these slots here, I don't know how I can show you the effects here or change them with the editor. Okay, you can see currently here is the analog chorus, and here you can see all the effects from which you can choose in the FxA block. There's basically everything which you would expect in other blocks. For example, there are EQs, and you have a dedicated EQ block here, which has a little bit more options. But anyway, you find some EQs here in the FxA block. And also, of course, what you would expect, like the phasers, flangers, and quite a lot, as you can see here. Tremolos, vibratos, rotary, anything, but also a delay, filters, overdrives, the harmony, which is maybe important for many people. This has an intelligent harmonizer which works. So maybe we can try it out. Sounds good to me. So you can see here there's some jumping artifacts when you make bendings, but that would be the case with most of the harmonizers which I know, at least from the cheaper modeling units. And you have to keep in mind this unit is around 600 euro. So there are not many competitors in that region that offer that many features. So a long effects chain, and you have also the FxB slot here, which has basically I think the same effects. Didn't check them out. Here's a stereo enhancer. This is a new effect, by the way, which is maybe not available in the other block. By the way, you can get my preset pack for this unit, which I'm offering, and there are a couple of my high gain presets. also other presets, as you know. So this is exactly the preset which I'm using live. And we will look in that preset into detail a little bit later. So first of all, let me address the block issue here. You have the EQ, which is very powerful and very good working, which is very important and not the case with, for example, the Mooer GP200 and also the Ampero and also the NUX. They are the EQs are really a weak point of these other cheap units. I don't say they're not working, but they're not of that quality like in this unit. And EQing is very important. Then you have the delays here, and they made a couple of improvements during the last firmwares. What is very important that you have, if you want to play stereo, you have the option to play stereo, and you have here the multi-tap delay and the dual delay. The reason why I'm using the multi-tap delay is because it has a low and a high cut option, which not every delay has in this unit. But it's very important in the live situation, especially cutting the lows. It may sound a little bit well, unspectacular if you're playing in a studio environment, but if you're playing live and you do these things like which have a lot of bass frequencies, and the delay has these bass frequencies too, then if it comes together, then you will run into power or into bass heavy sounds and flubbiness. So I wouldn't recommend to use bass below maybe this 170 Hertz in the delayed signal. Yeah, you have the delays here also, as you can see, quite a lot, and they're okay. They're not the best delays I've ever heard, but as I said, for my live applications, they're enough. Can get everything from usual lead delays to U2 delays to whatever I need. And then you have a dedicated overdrive block here with lots of overdrive and distortion pedals using the 808 here. And these pedals, they're also very powerful because they come with the bass middle treble control. Very helpful to dial out some treble maybe, or here in this case I'm dial out some mids because this is a very mid heavy model. I have to say they sound also quite impressive here, these overdrive models, especially. Yeah, you find for every application you find the right one. For example, here you have the Riot, which has lots of high end for these shred things. And these sounds are dialed in very carefully and over many live concerts, because I'm hearing these very clearly in my inner monitors. And for example, the Riot, it had too much harsh frequencies in my in-ears. So the front of house, it was all okay, but couldn't get on with my in-ear sound with the Riot, so I was going back to the 808. Okay, then you have, of course, the reverb block here, and also the possibility of cutting highs and lows. Stereo, as I'm playing sometimes stereo, usually I'm not, but it's working. And then you have the volume block here, which I don't use. It's basically the control of the volume pedal. The expression pedal can control the volume, and in another mode it can control the wah. And you have the compression here. Compressors are also quite powerful, although I think I'm missing a little bit the multiband compression. It has some kind of multiband compression, I think, in the effects blocks, but honestly, without the indicator light, it's very hard to dial in multiband compressor, at least for me. I cannot do this by ear very, very well. But I use compression for, I think, my clean leads. So, you have a very powerful effects chain. And that brings me to the next point, because someone asked me if it has a spillover. So that means basically that if the delay is is active and you go to another preset, you don't want the delay to be cut off. It should ring to the end, even if you are already in the other preset. And we can try that out. It has, as you can see, where is it? Don't use the editor very often, sorry, but I think somewhere it has this this trail. Where is it? Trail option. At least I found it on the unit. Maybe not every delay has it. So let's check out another delay. Maybe here, the dual delay, output mode stereo, no trail. Here's a trail mode. Oh, sorry, okay. Trail off. How can we engage this? Okay, anyway, I don't know how to engage this, but I did this on the unit and it was working. It's, well, it's a spillover. But what I personally do, or what I found out, is that if you use a spillover, then you have to have the effect which is spilling over, like the delay in the next preset also at the same settings and also active. It's a little bit annoying. So I'd rather like to stay within the same preset for one song. And so I have to basically make different scenes or snapshots within one preset. And let me show you that maybe in another song. Where do we have it? Okay, here we have the song Angels. It starts with a clean sound. And for that I usually use only an EQ. In that case I don't use an EQ because it sounds really fine with this guitar, split neck humbucker. And I'm using on the compression, which has an EQ, which I'm using here, as you can see. I'm using a little bit of chorus. And the noise gate, which is active, which I don't need for the cleans, but it's, anyway, it's active here. And then I have another scene, which is not a scene, as you may know from the AxeFx. It's basically another snapshot. So if I activate this, we'll do this by pressing the foot switch. As you can see, then a couple of other blocks are active. This strange distorted vibe. Rhythm tone. Anyway, I need this for this song. And yeah, it's of course a vibrato in the FXA block, and this is turned on, the cap section is turned on, and the compressor is turned off. And that is basically done in the control here. Where is it? As you can see here, this control, it's yeah, you can assign what should be, which block should be changed state. And yeah, these are the blocks which are changing the state when I hit Control C. And as you can see, you can assign up to 8 control switches here, because the unit has 10 switches, but 2 are for up and down, so 8. And I'm using another control in this preset when I'm going to the lead section here. Which is basically turning off the annoying vibrato and turning on the delay. Delay is also a volume boost of 3 dB. So 3 sounds within this preset. And the only thing why I think this is not perfect is because it's not a scene function, it's just a control function. The difference is, for example, if I go back from the lead to the clean scene, let me try that out. It's not working in a way it's supposed to be, because because the way it is it is programmed is these blocks, they are changing the state, and it's not that in a clean scene they're always the same blocks active. It's just the same blocks which are changing the state. And if I'm coming from, for example, the rhythm scene, and now it's screwed up, so let me go back. If I'm coming from the rhythm scene and then I hit the rhythm scene again, then as you can see the exact same blocks are deactivated or activated. But if I'm in another scene here, for example the lead scene, it's just activating these blocks. And if I'm in the rhythm and then in the lead, or I push the rhythm and then the lead control, then I'm in the lead mode. But then I have to go back in the same direction, or in the opposite direction. So first disengage the lead control and then disengage the rhythm control, so that I'm back in my clean scene. So you have to keep that in mind. It doesn't matter as long as you're using only, well, two snapshots within one preset. Or if you're just using the controls like it's maybe supposed to be used, then you control different blocks with the controls. But as soon as you are controlling some blocks with more than one control, you maybe run into confusion. And that is just the difference to scenes. In a scene you say which blocks should be active, and it's not depending on which state they are when you hit the scene. And the only thing which you have to implement as a programmer is, I think you have to check if a block is active and then maybe do nothing if it's already active. So it should not be that big of an issue to do that, and I still hope they will implement that in a coming firmware. So if you hear this more, that you should do that, and then it would be perfect. Anyway, for my purposes, it's working fine, and also I have some things. As you can see here, it's a scene where I have a lead delay engaged, which I'm using from the FxB block. And then another scene I'm using a rhythmic delay, which has quite another setting. I'm using this from the delay block. So in this preset I'm using two kinds of delays. Of course I'm using the controls again. And yeah, the one control is turning off this delay and turning on this. And the other control is maybe turning off this and turning on this. And also I have an auto wah on another control. Which sounds also very nice to me. Of course I could have used the expression pedal, but for me personally I like if I don't have to do anything with my foot. So yeah, the auto wah is working for me. And let me see if I can find something where I have another complicated preset. Usually with the one preset I have maybe 2 or 3 different sounds, or well, it's 2 or 3 different settings of effects, and that's working for all of the songs which I'm currently playing live. Yeah, the others, they are not that complicated, to be honest. For example, here it's just a lead tone with a delay. And one controller I can turn off the delay. EQ. And another one is turning on the phaser. Phaser is really subtle here. But I like it, to be honest. I have to say the effects quality is not that well, that impressive. There may be better units with better effects quality, for example the Boss GT1000 or the Helix, and of course the more expensive units. But this is a €600 unit, and the effects are not bad, so I'm using them live and can get, as I said, the results I want. Also, I'm playing with an acoustic guitar for some songs, and what do I do then? Usually I don't do anything fancy except a little bit of EQing. Yeah, my acoustic guitar has a lot of these 800 Hz mids, so I'm dialing them out. Of course, now I'm playing the electric guitar, which I don't use for this preset usually. And I have the lead setting where I'm using a compression. It doesn't sound with the electric guitar. To be honest, it sounds in a live situation, but at loud volumes, but here in the studio it's not that fancy, which is the case with most of these sounds. They're dialed in for live usage at very loud volumes, and then they sound full and rich and everything. And that's always the case. The studio sound is completely different. I have this song here. Yeah, I'm using the electric guitar with a clean tone. With a shimmer effect. Shimmer effect is here in the reverb section for those of you who are interested. Then I have a couple of variations. There's maybe a chorus effect. And on another controller I have this effect. My favorite. Vibrato. So, what else? You too. I have to find the right tempo. It's always coming from the samples, so now I don't know it. And yeah. Oh no, that's the wrong preset here. But this is also for the acoustic guitar. Yeah, so it's a very flexible unit and delivers everything I need. I hope you understand how I'm using the controls and why I prefer scenes. But other than that, it's at the moment it's perfect for me. Also, it has the ability to clone amps, but honestly, I tried that all one time and I couldn't get any usable results. So if you're a guy that needs, or a girl that wants to clone your setups, I'd rather recommend the Fractal audio products, Kemper of course, or the Headrush Prime. Of course, these are way more expensive. So that's it for now. Please leave your comments below, subscribe to my channel.